Hello, welcome back to Chat About It, Don't Chat About It with me, Rachel, the Queen of the Woke, as crowned by one of my haters. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed already. I couldn't do this without you. I have perhaps the biggest news we've had in a while and some little tidbits. What do you 28-day ratings, Danny Dyer, Mrs. Flood, Big Finish, Devil's Cord, and a London Comic Con all have in common? Well, that's easy. Doctor Who. Now, make sure to stick around to hear about the London Comic Con, but first let's dive right in to the 28 days ratings. I have a lovely bar chart here that's linked below that shows the ratings from the Star Beast right up until the Empire of Death. Now, I don't know if this company has been told to shill for Doctor Who, but let me read to you what it says. As Gatwa's first series comes to a close, it seems platform viewing was gently climbing. The show peaked with 450k for the penultimate story, were the earlier, smaller figures just a matter of adjusting to change. What will the 28-day figures tell us? So there you go. It has the 4 specials, I guess you could say, with the 28-day ratings, and they reckon that perhaps maybe the ratings are going to shoot up in the 28-day range. Now, we've been told constantly that the overnights don't matter and we must wait for the consolidations. The consolidations didn't perform well, but that didn't matter as it were the younger ones that they wanted to get watching. When they didn't get them watching, they changed their target group to a group of people who were old enough to clearly to be able to remember the 2005 run. Is that not the case now? Now, do we really need to rely on the 28-day figures in order to make the series look good? And I know someone that could help the ratings. Danny Dyer. Speaking to The Sun about what he'd considered his dream acting gigs, Dyer mentioned both Doctor and James Bond, hinting that he would love to reinvent both iconic characters in his image. The obvious role I'd love to play is James Bond, he said, a Cockney Bond. Or I would like to maybe have a go at Doctor Who, something that's been played by many different actors before putting my own spin, my own take on it. That's nothing original, Danny, because every single actor who has come into this role, be them the best doctor ever or considered one of the worst doctors ever, they have all put their own spin on it. And that's including the latest doctor. So, yeah, that's an interesting statement. And for me personally, I couldn't imagine him as a doctor. Now, you may be able to imagine him as the doctor, and that's absolutely fine. But who do you think should also play the doctor? So the Danny Dyer article was from the Radio Times. This is also from the Radio Times. We may never hear why Mrs. Flood is breaking the fourth wall. He says, this is RTD, that it hasn't been explained and it might never be explained. It's very interesting. Within the Doctor Who offices, we know exactly why that happens, and yet I'm shown no signs of putting it in. There's actually a reason for it that was in an early draft of the Star Beast, but I see no need to explain it whatsoever. My sister watches it. She doesn't blink. She doesn't actually blink when a character turns to the camera and gives them a wink. I mean, you would if it was Pride and Prejudice. That would be odd. But there's something showy about Doctor Who. There's something proscenium arc about it. There's something arc about it, full stop. For those unfamiliar with theatre jargon, a proscenium arc essentially refers to the area of a stage in which a show unfolds. It is the time frame where the character, locations, and scenarios exist, with the audience sat firmly outside. He added, I think it's a program which you can very happily turn towards the audience. It's a very fine and simple tradition. RTD, that's panto. I think you're mistaking that for panto. RTD says it may never be explained. My question is, why put something in like that which distracts from what's going on and not explain it? It's not just Mrs. Flood, but it's Maestro and the Doctor did it as well. And he's also said there's something showy about Doctor Who. He talks about the proscenium arc, which is far more theatre. And technically, if you think about it, TV and film generally exist in that domain for the most part. And I don't or didn't consider anything showy about Doctor Who until RTD 2.0 came along and changed everything to suit his agenda. He even announced the other day about the cut scene from The Devil's Chord. Now, this was taken also from the Radio Times. There was one scene we deliberately cut at the end of Devil's Chord, actually, because they run onto the rooftop and there was a scene where the doctor said, "Oh, time's going to go crazy now. Music is flooding back in and everything's going to be strange for 10 minutes," to kind of explain what's going to happen, and burst into song. And he added, "Why explain why you burst into song? Just burst into song." So I think that scene possibly would have made a lot of people happy. I'm really glad we took it out. It's only 20 seconds of dialogue. It was nothing. I can't think of anything else we cut. And to be honest, I'm glad they did get rid of that, because it would have made no sense. But it's also a shame that they couldn't do away with that song and dance routine as well. I don't see, why they couldn't have got rid of that and actually make it the bit where the doctor's saving the day, doing what the doctor actually is supposed to do, instead of being captured and locked in a violin or cello or whatever it was, and have the Beatles save him. Now, speaking of saving the day, can Big Finish save themselves? I've heard rumours of them not doing too well recently, and they are just rumours. I'm not sure how much of it is true, but Whittaker will now join a host of doctors who have made the transition from TV to audio lineup, which includes Tom Baker, Peter Davison, Colin Baker, Sylvester McCoy, Paul McGann, Christopher Eccleston, David Tennant, Joe Martin, David Bradley, and John Hurt. This is from the Radio Times as well. Big Finish's chairman, Jason Hay Ellery, said, "This year, Big Finish is celebrating its 25th anniversary of producing full-cast Doctor Who audio dramas. So, when we were granted the license to create new stories set during the 13th Doctor's era, we immediately set to work. I am delighted that the inimitable Jodie and Mandeep have decided to return to their roles with us, and I'm excited to welcome them to Big Finish." Well, Big Finish are quite well known for writing doctors, some of the doctors, I should say, better than what they had during their TV tenure. Could it save it? I really don't know. So with Jodie and Mandeep back, I wonder what on earth will happen. Now, the biggest news of all, the Winter London Comic Con is coming in November. With regards to Doctor Who, Ncuti Gatwa is heading the bill alongside Bonnie Langford and Colin Baker. Now, in itself, that's nothing unusual about sci-fi stars making appearances at Comic Con alongside fellow and past cast members. What is unusual is the ticket pricing, and it's a notable difference in the ticket pricing, I should say. So Bonnie Langford is doing standard autographs and photos for £25 each, and then she'll team up with Colin Baker and do a duo photograph shoot for £60. And obviously that is because she was Colin Baker's companion during his tenure as the Doctor. And Colin is also holding autograph and photograph sessions for the same price, and of course he will be doing the duo session as well with Bonnie Langford. Now, Ncuti Gatwa is a different kettle of fish, and this could be because he is the current star of the show. There could be loads of reasons behind it, but the inflated prices are very inflated. So the standard autograph with Ncuti is £125, £20 for a talk, standard photo shoot £95, green screen photo shoot £110, a diamond pass is £295 with one standard autograph, one standard photo shoot, one talk, one gift. From what I've been able to establish, the talk is happening after hours and it is more of an audience thing. And they add on £1 extra for each of these, and I'm guessing that's all to do with things like booking costs and whichever. Now, I've never really had a chance to attend this type of event ever. However, I did have an online talk with Colin Baker and an autograph session as well. I didn't meet him in person, but I didn't pay nearly £300 in order to get this experience with him. I got the online talk, a recorded version of the online talk as a momentum, and the autograph. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't know much about Comic Cons in general, but I wouldn't expect to pay that much for that. It does not include entry or the green screen shoot. Plus, on top of that, the talk may take place after hours and it's only on a Saturday, meaning that people would really have to mold their schedules around Shooty. Now, this talk appears to be a Shooty and audience thing, so I have no idea exactly what that will be like, other than perhaps a Q&A session. Now, I'm pretty sure that he has a very busy schedule, but that's quite an extortionate fee for one day. And I don't know if this was established to his agent or not. If it was established to his agent, a cut goes to his agent as well. So he may not be getting all of it. And obviously, there'll be taxes that he has to pay on top of that because he would be self employed. But as I say, it's still quite an extortionate fee. And if there are other stars there that you would actually like to meet and greet, that becomes a very expensive day if you choose to do absolutely everything with Shooty Gatwa. So what do you think of that? Chat about it, don't chat about it. Like the video if you would like to. Subscribe if you would also like to. I have an interview coming out today at 4 p.m. with a writer for Doctor Who. So be sure to check that out and make sure the notification bells are switched on so you know that video is up and ready for you to watch. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.